intro here for the Bear Pack. Before we get into this video, we wanted to share that we are growing here on this channel, and that is all due to your guys' love and support. The growth has been amazing. So as we grow, we wanted to give you guys some goals to work towards as we get into this football season. We're going to pull them up right now. Here are our goals. We're currently sitting at about 6,700 subs on this channel. So at 7K subs, we're going to have a Bobby Witt Jr. bobblehead giveaway. I got that at the first game of the Kansas City Royals opening day. It is still in the box. Haven't taken it out. It's in great condition. So that's going to be a good prize. And by the way, Bobby Witt Jr., 20 home runs now in the season. He's having a great second half of the year. 8K subs. We're going to have a jersey giveaway. We've done a lot of jersey giveaways. We'll probably do 2 jersey giveaways at 8K. 9K subs. Sports memorabilia giveaway. That can be anything from a jersey to a sports card to something else in reason. We don't want to be giving away a LeBron James signed game jersey, but we will try our best on that sports memorabilia giveaway. 10K subs, our big one. $1,000 giveaway. When we get there, we'll probably have people decide in the chat what they want to do with that. We can either have 10, 100, 2, 500, or just $1,000 giveaway, whichever one anybody wants. And then the 12K subs, we're going to try to send somebody to a game of their choice, 2 tickets each. We are very excited for this football season as it is our money maker. We did great last season, looking to ride that momentum into this season. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and don't miss out on these upcoming season. Enjoy the video, guys. We'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys, let's get into some NCAA football picks and props for Monday, September 4th slate of games. Take a look at that leaderboard. Trey, start us off.
Yes, and look at me. I was the one who picked Florida State. Shout out me. I had complete confidence in them. I was feeling the fading the SEC, fading Brian Kelly and his fake Southern accent. Shout out Florida State. They came up and backed me up. I took them plus 2.5 against LSU, and they dominated this game, almost doubling up LSU in this game. They ended up winning by 21 points. LSU only scored 24. So shout out Florida State. Came out and ran all over LSU, passed all over LSU. Travis, you are a dog, so shout out him.
Coleman and Travis, dogs on that Florida State team. Seth?
Yeah, I was the one who picked LSU. I thought they had revenge on their mind. Clearly, they didn't have revenge on their mind enough because they went in there and got pounded, especially by the Florida State pass rush, who was all over Jaden Daniels. So shout out to that Florida State pass rush.
Yeah, and look at that. I got a win. I'm finally on the win column, 1-4 on the season. Florida State, I actually got them at, I got them at plus 1.5. So the line did move down a little bit, but we did get them at plus 1.5. They did cash 45-24 win. 1-0 on the day. Let's look at our plays for tomorrow. But before we do that, any recap on the game, Trey? Anything on that game from last night?
Yeah, I mean, just like what you said earlier, Coleman and Travis, they were a dynamic duo. I did not expect that. He was a transfer in, and I guess shout out them for going to the transfer portal. The announcers said time and time again that they were probably the most impressive team in the transfer portal, and it showed up throughout this game all over. They had a lot of talented players all over the field. If they can repeat this, I really do think that we might need to hammer them to win the ACC while it's still probably plus money.
Okay, yeah, so Florida State good or LSU bad?
I would, if I have to choose either or, I would probably lean towards Florida State good. I think LSU could still viably win the SEC.
Seth?
Yeah, I think Neighbors and Daniels were a little off tonight, and that could just be due to the secondary of Florida State. But I think we'll see them get more comfortable as the year goes on and start connecting more on some of those back shoulders that they were trying to get to. But I think Daniels had it rough because Florida State's pass rush was all over him.
Crazy.
It was they were constantly in his face. He was running for his life. So maybe LSU's offensive line isn't that great. So we'll see how they do against other SEC or against SEC defensive lines that have really good pass rush as well.
Yeah, and he's clearly the best player on that team, so they need to protect him. He got absolutely tattooed on a scramble today. He was jumping through the pile on 1st and 10 and got slammed to the ground. He took a lot of unnecessary hits tonight, so they need to make sure to protect him. But, yeah, I think Florida State's good. I think LSU's good too, which means Florida State's really good. So a very dominant performance for Florida State, especially in the second half. 31-7, and the 7 for LSU was a garbage time touchdown. So Florida State dominated the second half. But let's take a look at the game for tomorrow. Only one game. We're all going to break it down just like last night. It's going to be Clemson going to Duke. The spread is -13 for Clemson. The over-under is 55.5. Trey, who do you have in this game?
Yeah, this game is a great game to start off the ACC conference season. And I think a lot of people are probably overlooking both of these teams coming into this season. And this is the first time that these two teams are facing off since 2018. That kind of surprised me. And Clemson won that game by 29 points. I do think this game's going to be a lot closer than that. And I'm going to be buying 1.5 points, and I'm going to be taking Duke plus 14.5. It is -140. So if you don't want that juice, I don't hate Duke plus 13.5 was about minus 115. But I do like having that 2-touchdown comfortability that we get with this game. I do think there's an outside chance that Duke wins this game straight up. Also, because Duke, they have a lot of great players in Clemson. They have a lot of question marks and gaps that they had to fill in the offseason. And Clemson, yes, they're a great name. And yes, they have a great quarterback as well in Cade Klubnik. And they have a young stud offensive coordinator in Garrett Riley. But I'm going to go with the home team here. And I think we might even get a backdoor cover if it gets to that point. But Duke, like I said, they have a lot of great talent, starting with their quarterback in Riley Leonard and going all the way down to their wide receivers in Jalon Calhoun and Jordan Moore. I'll be talking about Jalon Calhoun a little bit later in the player props, a little bit of a sneak peek there. But I do believe that Duke is going to score enough points in this game to keep up with Clemson. And with 75% of the total money being on Clemson in this game, it just makes me love this bet even more. I'm going to fade the public here, and I'm going to go Duke plus 14.5 in this game versus Clemson.
Beth?
Yeah, and I was the only one that went opposite of you and Trey in last night's game pick, so we'll see if I'm the only one that goes the opposite way, because I am going to go the opposite way as Trey. I think I had Clemson at minus 12.5. The reason I do like Clemson is because their defense has not changed. They still have a really, really good defense, and they have a former 5-star quarterback starting. And the one thing I went to is Clemson has won 25 out of their last 30 meetings, including 5 straight against Duke, and they have won it by a point margin of 31 points. So, I mean, Clemson does have Duke's number. I get Duke's defense did perform well last year, but I think they may have overperformed a little bit. So I do think bringing in Garrett Riley is really going to help open up Clemson's playbook, as he had TCU rolling last year. I mean, TCU was ranked the 9th highest scoring offense at 38.8 points per game, made it into the college football playoffs. So I do think bringing in Garrett Riley is going to help them a little bit. So I do see them being able to cover this spread against Duke.
Yeah, Seth, a little bit of deja vu for you. I'm going to take Duke at home. I'm going to take them plus 13. I'm also going to take them at plus 7.5 on the alt line. The Clemson Tigers have made the college football playoffs from 2015 to 2020. They have now missed back-to-back years, and that is really not acceptable for Dabo. He is a very good coach. I'm not saying he's not, but I think he expects better from his team. He did make some adjustments this offseason, like you guys said. They fired their offensive coordinator, and they replaced him with Garrett Riley, who had the offensive coordinator job at TCU last year. They won't have GJ either at quarterback. They're going to go with Cade. He looked decent last season, but the real attack is going to be Will Shipley, who will be leading the ground game. I think the offense for Clemson will be decent. And Duke has always had problems on defense, but they got much better last season, and they got better again this season, the offseason. Duke has also returned a lot of their starters who were the stars of the offensive side of the ball. They have 8 returning starters to what was a pretty good offense last season. They ranked 31st in scoring offense. I mentioned the Duke defense. They got better last year, and they did. They finished 31st in scoring defense, and they brought in a lot of help for the secondary this season from the transfer portal. I think this game is going to be very close, and I would not be surprised at all if Duke took this game from Clemson winning outright. But because this is the Clemson name, they got the name, because they do have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, I think they will find a way to win this game. But give me Duke a couple ways here, plus 7.5 and plus 13, as they give Clemson a really big scare in week 1. But guys, let's go to the player props. Trey, start us off.
Oh, that felt good. I didn't want to be the only one riding with Duke, so I'd love that. But hey, that's a perfect sweep that we had on the board in the games yesterday, and I'm hoping that we can run him back today. But I gave out Damian Martinez over 82.5 rushing yards versus San Jose State, and he almost hit this by halftime. He smashed the over in this game because he finished with only 18 carries, still totaled 145 rushing yards. He was a monster in this game. And shout out Martinez for showing up after Carson Steele absolutely broke my heart. Oh, my God, Carson Steele, come on.
Broke my heart as well, Seth.
Yeah, and I took former Clemson quarterback DJ Uiagalelei to go over 205.5 yards. Like I said yesterday, I thought this was set pretty low, and I don't know what he ended up with. I saw when I looked last, he had 239. I saw that he had went over 205.5, and we had won that pick. So I didn't look again after that, but we did go 1-0 because of that.
Yeah, they dominated Oregon State. Most points they've scored in 20 years, and the first time they've won a road game out of conference in 20 years. In the opening game, not obviously in 20 years, but in their opening game. Also, shout out Pac-12, 13-0 in their opening day games for Pac-12. Only conference to do that this season, so maybe the Pac-12 is not dead. But for my prop yesterday, I had Malik Neighbors go under 67.5 receiving yards. He finished with 67, so we won on the hook. It was the very last play, basically, for the LSU offense. He caught a 20-yard pass. I was looking for maybe a scoring correction because I just wanted to make sure it hit, but he did end at 67. We did sweep the board. Let's do it again today. Trey, start us off.
Gosh, that is scary. But hey, a win is a win, so we'll take it anyway. We get it. But I did preview it earlier. I'm going to be giving out Jalon Calhoun in this game. I'm going to be taking his over 53.5 receiving yards. I think this is just way too low. If you do not know who Jalon Calhoun is, you will be introduced to him at least at some point in time throughout this game versus Clemson, because he's an absolute dog with some serious speed. And it shows whenever you watch him on tape or you just look at his highlight tape on YouTube. And you can tell just by looking at his game log as well, because in his last 5 games in 2023, you can see it on the screen, he averaged 86 yards per game, and he should look to duplicate that in this game because he led Duke in receptions and receiving yards last season. And look for the preseason All-ACC first-teamer to want to show up and prove that he deserved that recognition on this nationally televised game. And with this Clemson secondary being somewhat suspect with all these new faces on it, I expect Calhoun to get loose at least once or twice in this game and to go over this number. So give me Jalon Calhoun to go over 53.5 receiving yards versus Clemson. Let's go.
I love it, Trey. Seth?
Yeah, and I'm going to go to Clemson's running back, Will Shipley, and I'm going to take him over half a touchdown or anytime touchdown scorer on FanDuel Sportsbook. Will Shipley will be heading into his junior season and is poised to be one of the most productive running backs in college football. Last season, Shipley showed he can do it all as he rushed for over 1,100 yards and had 38 receptions on the season. He is also almost a lock to score a touchdown inside the red zone as he had 15 touchdowns last season. Shipley also averaged 5.6 yards per carry last year, while he averaged 15 attempts per game. As we know, Clemson hired Garrett Riley from TCU to be their offensive coordinator, and TCU had one of the best running attacks in college football last season, led by Kendre Miller. Shipley should be utilized in a very similar fashion and should get quite a few touches in this game. So I do like his chances to get into the end zone against Duke.
Yeah, Seth, I like that play as well. For my prop tonight, it's going to be Riley Leonard, over 217.5 passing plus rushing yards going up against Clemson. I like that the Blue Devils are going to be tested week 1. This is going to be a great opportunity for Riley Leonard to show if he has what it takes to be a quarterback at the next level. Last season, he took a major step forward. He threw for 3,000 passing yards on 64% completion, having 20 touchdowns through the air. This is a dual threat guy also. So last season as well, he had 124 carries, 700 yards, and 13 touchdowns on the ground. So a total of 3,700 total yards. Both of those numbers I just threw out for passing and rush can be 2 players, because having 700 on the ground and 13 touchdowns as a quarterback is insane. Those are starting running back numbers. I like him to have a good game in this home opener against a very tough opponent in Clemson. Give me Riley Leonard over 270.5 passing plus rushing yards in this game. Guys, it's going to do it for NCAA football plays for Monday, September 4th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our Locks of the Week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. Check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.